I know you never hurt me, but that's okay. Cause once you hear my pipe in, you're gonna walk this way. Now I sound different, nothing quite.
Before I get started, in the nick of time, again, Beast does it again. He just came in the nick of time in the lobby. But here we are.
I thought I was late. I swear I thought I was late. I swear I thought I was late, boy.
But guess what? You're here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition, to another installment of Hashtag Fade the Black. I am your host, Donna Monty Morris, here with my bruh, Beast Johnson. Man, oh man, we got a lot to talk about, dog. A lot.
This is going to be fun.
Very fun. I even got my energy drink for this one, man. Man, I'm not gonna get too much into it because I really want to get your take. I actually did a Instagram live on it, but I left all the good parts that I really want to deep dive into for the show. I got a whole lot to say, but I'm very, just like anything else, Beast, I really want to hear your take on it because just hearing your take would just sum it up for me, you know, even though I get my take.
Yeah.
I just got to hear like other sides because I've been hearing everybody else's views about the whole entire thing. And I'm like, some I get, but some I don't understand. But first, y'all know how we do it. Set it by Cheddar Boy Popcorn. We got our opening statements, and man,
you know what? You know, if I call an audible on this one right here, because it's plain to see that we just gonna get right down to the nitty gritty. Because everything we gonna talk about from this point after I shut up is pretty much gonna surmise our opening statement, the bulk of our conversation, as well as my community and in the statements. And it's gonna be on this. It's what everybody talking about. It's what most of y'all watching honestly wanted to hear us talk about to some degree.
Well,
to see our takes on it.
You know what? I think it's only fair that we do it the right way. So yes,
and I agree. I agree.
Yeah, so we're gonna mix the opening statements and Beast community, but Beast, we gotta do it right, man. Presented by Sky Zone Society. It's time for us to get our ass in the car and let's go to Beast community. Are y'all ready? I think they are ready. Beast, they ready? Well, I think Beast is frozen with excitement. Let's roll. All right. Let's get into it. So let me get my take on it first because I had to open the statement that I wanted to do so we can forget about that. So let me go ahead and mark that off. So in case y'all all been living under a rock or y'all know what's going on, or even know a little bit that what's going on.
Pun intended.
So this is what happened. Because my girlfriend and her friends actually had a watch party. So the fellas, you know, I like to get the fellas separated from the ladies, you know how we do, let the ladies do their thing and the fellas be go in the back. So me and my boy was actually in the living room when this was happening live. So when he made that joke, we all reacted like, whoa, like, oh, did he just say that? And next thing you know, we saw Will Smith walking up on the stage up to Chris Rock, and he slaps the world out of him. Like, literally slapped him. Like, I didn't know how to react. At first, I thought it was a joke. But then, I don't know how it was when you was watching it, Beast, but on our end, like, when they was talking, everything was muted. It took me back to, like, a WWE type of moment where that wasn't supposed to happen.
It was a shoot.
Yeah. That I can.
That was my first thought. That was my actual initial thought when I saw it. Finally saw it because I don't really pay attention to that type of bullshit no more.
Yeah.
And if I could just get black for a moment and just get this old Negro out my soul, to Will, more specifically Jada, because you the one that started it.
Mr. Beast
On this.
All right, cool.
I'll wait.
All right, cool.
Y'all gonna hear me on this one. Mm-hmm. But y'all waited till the Oscars actually got black to pull some kind of coonery like this. And then involve y'all two yet again. That just kind of tickled me in an evil way. And I just need to get that off my chest.
You know what? I'm gonna call audible too. Because this brother here, you already know who he is. Billingsley, if you want to come on the show, I will send a link to you because
please, I want his take.
He did his show, I think a couple hours after that happened, and he did a take that I agree majority with. And I was like, yeah, you know. But I do have my own take. So let me go and get my take real quick, and hopefully Billingsley give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down because I love his take. So here's my take. My take even goes further than Jada. My take goes to all the folks that are sitting there saying who are saying that what Will Smith did was wrong. You know, no, I won't say wrong. Hold on. Let me take that back. I'm trying to take myself back so I'm not stepping on, well, I'm going to step on the whole feet. I want all those people that are sitting there and said to the trans community, when Dave Chappelle said all those things and used that transphobic girl as a scapegoat, said it's just a joke, but said that Chris Rock was out of line. That's how deep. You know me, I want to keep the same energy on both ends. Because I know the same people that sit there and say, we defend Dave Chappelle. He's not transphobic, but criticizes Chris Rock for making that joke. And seeing the comments in Chris Rock's post, and seeing the comments from the Baller Alert, from the Shade Room, and all that stuff, it really sums up to how we portray ourselves as a community. Portrays us as, you know, we just give other people credibility because it's who they are. Meaning Dave Chappelle. All the things that we sit there and say, you know, well, you know, people are too corporate, people got money behind them. What do you think Dave Chappelle got behind him now? He got
if you see him on TV, they got corporate money. Let's just keep it real. No, let's just keep it. Let's just keep it real here for all the ignorant folk that think they know something. If I see you on TV, there's a level of backing. If I see you on anything outside of local cable access or PBS, and even to a degree of PBS, there's some type of backing. You're on the fucking Oscars. You think ain't no goddamn
right?
That's like complaining about the damn halftime special.
Right,
bitch. It's the fucking halftime.
Right. You didn't like it last year. But nothing had to change from last year to this year. Now all of a sudden you on board. Last year you was against it. Now all of a sudden you for it. Nothing much has changed other than the people that's performing. You know? And so, like I said, you gotta keep the injury across the board. So when I see people jumping on the bandwagon, like, yeah, Dave Chappelle, and then Chris Rock sit there and make this joke. Now all of a sudden, Will Smith was right for what he was doing. The reason why I took it because y'all are the same ones that sit there and rooted for that shit for Dave Chappelle. I believe what Dave Chappelle did was wrong. I believe he did the same thing. We criticized white folks about using I got black friends, I can't be racist. Dave Chappelle took that out their playbook and used it with a freaking trans woman to try to justify that he's an ally.
I want to say he was just because this is my take as far as that whole Dave Chappelle, that joke, because I heard the same joke and I listened to it a couple of times too. So as far as my take on it was not necessarily like, hey, I got trans friends. It was like, okay, I could understand you shitting on me, but I actually ran across somebody like y'all, and through our mutual enjoyment of comedy and wanting to pursue it on a professional level, this person who I will always refer to as she has now enlightened me and got me to a point where I can at least honestly go in and engage with someone that I might feel is or know to a fact, and just to ask those general questions just to get better understanding. Right. And then for that person who helped enlighten me on how some of my shit could be viewed negative, y'all shat on her and caused her to take her own life. That's what that took from that. So it's like, it's one thing to shit on, because I got the same mentality. It's cool to shit on me, but don't shit on somebody that you rock with and that roll with you that actually help me see your side. That's why I draw the line. That's why I feel like y'all some fuck over. Y'all fuck niggas for that. Now, when it comes to Will, my point, and I will die on this hill, drinking the blood of my enemies and sitting on their skulls. He is not wrong for what he did. He is wrong for the person that he did it to. You should have slapped August.
Right, and so
point blank.
You
should have slapped August, and if you didn't slap August, you should have slapped or cussed out the first handful of individuals that tried to make light of it. Don't wait till it's been over a year. Don't wait till your own fucking wife done made you relive this private shame on a public fucking platform and make you pretty much treat yourself like a bitch nigga. Don't wait until there have been multiple songs in your favor, against your favor, parrying this whole thing.
And see,
you wait till you finally get some credibility from the motherfuckers you've been wanting credibility from.
Right.
Because your wife didn't like the fucking joke.
Right. And
because he laughed.
Right.
He laughed. It was a sincere, genuine laugh. It wasn't that ha ha ha, I'm about to fuck you up, nigga. It was like, it wasn't that ha ha ha, chill out, my nigga. It wasn't that ha 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 ha, I guess so for your ass. It wasn't that laugh. It was that shit is actually funny.
And see, what thing you have missing in what you said, when you said check Asenas, one thing that you missing, he should check Jada. He should check Jada.
Oh no.
Jada should have been checked a long time
ago. To me, that kind of goes without saying in them type of situations. Like, that's the first person you supposed to check.
Yeah.
In that type of situation.
So
but the fact that she brung him into the situation and this nigga was as close to the family as they portrayed to be. Oh yeah, my nigga, you definitely got to come talk to me.
Right.
We need to step out back.
Right. So here's my take on it. So I took it a bit far with Dave Chappelle and criticizing the people. No,
because it goes the same way with that. Because the same folk that punked his ass and said he was a simp and taking his L. Oh, now they won't he got his face back. He a real man for that. Right. No, he the same simp ass nigga he was crying over this shit. He wait literally his whole fucking life to actually say fuck publicly.
Look, at the end
and it's shocking the motherfuckers that actually be around him. So that ain't something that he normally say, even when angry.
But here's the thing: at the end of the day, let me go ahead and nip that simping thing out. nip in the butt. They are still married. She could have cheated on him, or they could have.
No. Oh, that's another thing. They're only married in the legal sense, and I dare anyone to fight me on this. Go back and look at every fucking article, every interview that they talk about their marriage, and count how many times they act. No, either relationship or partnership, never marriage. They themselves never say it's a marriage. It's a partnership. And then when you want to bring the sex into it, it's an open relationship. But it's never a marriage. Never once have I heard either one of them profess that situation as a marriage. A marriage, you don't play with that type of bullshit and don't let it last this long, especially when you in that type of light and environment. But when you in a partnership, you only respond when it benefits either you or her or all parties involved.
Right. And so he did say, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Now we gotta keep that to her account. Mm-hmm. But legally, I'm not coming to get you what you were saying, but legally,
that's what I'm agreeing. On paper, they're married.
Yeah, they're legally,
but how they handle that marriage,
right?
No, how they handle that marriage and how they choose to really showcase that marriage, it's not a marriage. It's a marriage in the legal binding paperwork sense. And even they admit to it because they don't call it a marriage themselves. So that's my whole rhetoric and thought process behind it.
And so for me, I don't see what he did was simping. Reason why, like I said, on paper, they're married. No matter how you spin it or how you want to constitute it. Because if they want to call it quits, if they're going to have to call it quits, they just can't do that by themselves. They still got to go to a thing called court. And, hey, how we going to split this? So, with that being said, Will Smith is not taking no L in this. This is a woman that he's going to spend the rest of his life with. And it's not only just about Will, it's about Jada. So, we just can't sit there and say Will took the L. How would you react? Now, I understand Will, for the past year and a half, he's been going through a lot because a lot of people been dragging his ass.
That's where the simping comes from.
Like, right. And which I can see people saying that. I can see that. But for me,
I understand it because I know a personal similarity in the sense I know of someone that was in a marriage where third party got involved and it was on the cause of the wife, and it was pretty much kind of projected and promoted on her end that regardless of whether he knew, the husband, or how he felt, that monkey wasn't going to stop her show, and he wasn't going nowhere. And regardless of how he felt, the longer that situation exasperated, it took away the validity of his rational feelings and concerns that somebody on the outside looking in would completely understand and agree with. But you allow so much time, and then by the time you actually do nut up, it's not really directed at the true cause of spark. Yeah. So even after the fact, like you get to the point where it's like you just kind of all right, it is what it is with them, and you just slowly but surely just keep it civil and sociable to the point where if they're going through some shit, they don't feel comfortable bringing it to your knowledge because you don't care no more.
Right.
Because you feel this shit should have been handled regardless of.
I think we're not hoping he comes back in. Beast, can you hear me?
Shown to the public.
Okay, cool.
And I think that's where a lot of folk really have an issue. You catch the L because the way what she shows is like she don't have respect for you. She loves you, but she don't have respect for you. How all this stuff is coming out and the way in which it's coming out, And then the way she's responded to it coming out, it puts that vibe out to everybody else that, yeah, they might love each other, but I don't think she necessarily respect that nigga.
Right, and I get that, but you know, for me to put this all in the bun a little bit, he should have done something a long time ago. But then we got to understand.
That's my whole point. That's my whole point right there. At the end of the day,
the thing is, before The Rock, when he always be posting these positive affirmations to people, you gotta love everybody. Will Smith was doing that first. Will Smith was doing that way before The Rock. And for him being that type of person, and then this happens to him, it does put him in a position like, dude, who is actually wearing the fucking pants in this relationship? Because we know it ain't.
And that's where that's where that whole you simping, you taking the L on that thing is, because
and I understand where people come. I understand where people coming from, but it's not, for me. It's not to the point where Jada was like, "Go stick him," or just always holding that on his head. Because remember,
it's just
when she was getting it on with August Alsina, what the hell his name is, he knew nothing about it. Or if he knew, then I could be like, yo, like, you gonna allow your woman
that's what I'm saying. It was stated on both sides at different times. So that's one thing I'm saying. This thing lasted so long that at one point it was stated that he knew nothing about it. And then at another point, it was stated and had pictures that this nigga was around. And then this nigga August came out his mouth and said, Will gave me his blessing. And then Will got checked on all these things.
Yeah.
He got, and then fucking Jada herself questioned this nigga yo, tell everybody you knew about August and you was cool. Like, pretty much tell everybody you knew I wasn't cheating. That you knew this nigga was fucking me. That's basically how the conversation went, and that's what people took from it. Once again, how this shit is put out, all the information, the way in which it's presented to us, the way in which the people involved when it act after the fact. You start paying attention more to body language and subtle eye movements and shit to the people around them. Like the whole situation now with them. They was looking at like Lupita, seeing how she was responding, because they was like, yeah, this shit got to be fake. They're looking at her, that because of how they carry this shit, it puts on that air. So everything you do is going to be scrutinized.
So
because you've allowed this shit to go this far, you haven't addressed it properly to just go ahead and nip it in the bud.
Right. But even with
now
that,
we left with this type of situation.
Right. Even with that, on paper, they still married. Like, I seen relationships where they're so bad, where either the girlfriend, the wife is being treated bad, or the husband being treated bad. Unfortunately, it's Will Smith. But they still got to do something to step up, because that on paper, first of all, you a man. Like, even if your wife don't even respect you, if you see somebody disrespect your woman, you got to get up and handle your business. And that's the thing people are missing. That
goes back to my second point. Back to time. So much time has elapsed. Like I say, if you ain't put your hands or at least step up to August, the first couple folk that said something, the first meme that popped up or a song that tried to parry, make light of your situation, you should nip that shit in the bud. Nigga, you make enough money to get white folk carrying litigious. You a couple hundred cease and desist orders, that ain't shit to you. Like, if you was really, that's what I'm going back and say, you nip it in the bud. It didn't. Chris Rock should have never been allowed to say it. That's what I'm saying. Enough time the time on this subject should not have lasted long enough for us to get to this year's Oscars and Chris Rock being in the position of where he still feels comfortable with publicly speaking on this, and it's publicly viable. That's the issue I got.
It's been a powder keg for Will Smith, and I know this had been building for Will Smith, and unfortunately, it was freaking. You know, I'm not even saying a powder keg. This was a balloon, overinflated balloon, and unfortunately, Chris Rock was the pin that popped it. So we can say that yes, it should have been August that should have got the punch in the face, smack in the face, punch in the face, whatever you want to say it. But for me, this is something that has been building, and unfortunately, Chris Rock was the one that basically just tipped the boat over, and Will Smith said, "You know what? I had enough."
I agree. I just feel like it shouldn't have been allowed to build in the first place.
Right. But at the end of the day, that man is defending his woman. I will not. You cannot.
No matter how this situation is, you know, the act of something was said about this man's wife publicly. This man stepped up.
Right. So for anybody that's sitting there just not understanding the situation or the principle of this situation, saying that this man
you can't fault that.
Yeah, and saying that this man is simping. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. If somebody disrespects you and your significant other don't stand up for you, now you know how it feels. Because if they don't stand up for you, even when you're not there, that means that they didn't even care about your ass in the first place. Your question should be more of, and I don't care if you, like I said, I don't care if you're a man or a woman. You should be questioning your spouse, like, why are you with me for? You just allowed this one person to diss on me, say all these things about me, and you just sat there. You just gonna sit there, ain't gonna say nothing. Or the ones that I really
we'll need to ask Jada that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, I think it was like a little.
Goddamn Tourette's. Goddamn Tourette's.
No, I think your house is kind of haunted. I don't think that came from you. But
no, I'm high. I don't know what I'm saying.
but the thing is, if your spouse does not stand up for you or say anything, I don't care if it's girl or boy. I don't care who it is. And if they don't stand up for you, you should be questioning the relationship. Why are you with me?
That goes on both ends now.
Right.
Now we need to look at that from both ends.
Right.
Because we have vehemently seen, I agree with everything down there saying. And I'll go back and reiterate the original point of Will Smith before all this coonery, that he was the one shining light in the fact that this nigga never had a bad thing to say about his wife. Nothing. No matter what situation they was good. Like, even when you know these motherfuckers don't like each other, he was still always keeping the band. That's my wife. I love her. No, that's a long haul.
But to add on to what you just said,
I'm not surprised that he did that. I'm not surprised he did that. I'm expecting he did that. Like I said, I wish he did it earlier.
But see,
now to Jada,
oh boy,
since all this shit done passed, Jada should have been doing the same. Now this is why I got to get on you women about it. You women, he's protecting black women. You black women need to secure black men. See, because while we're protecting you, you're securing us. Because we're putting us. Because see, I don't know if anybody's seen this type of setup, but they do it in the Lion Kingdom too. When a lioness is with the lion, she hides up under his jawline. It looks as though she's hiding. No, what she's doing is she's lowering her guard, protecting his fucking neck, so he can still fight. So even if it's a headshot, she still get a quick one in. Same when you in the hood and you got that carry. I got my hands up. You got your hands around me, but one of your hands is around that pistol on my back, and you already got that thing and ready.
Yeah, as they should.
That's how I'm protecting you. You're securing me, and that's what she's supposed to do. He protected her. Now she needs to get off her ass and secure him.
Yeah, and like I said, Will Smith handled that shit like a man. Now, I sent the link to Billsley, so I want to hear his take on the whole entire Will Smith thing. So my thing is this: Will Smith had this building. Unfortunately, Chris Rock, wrong place, said the wrong thing, wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah.
And he got dealt with. He got dealt with. I don't care if y'all call that simping or anything like that. At the end of the day, on paper, that's his woman. That's his woman. Partnership or anything like that. He has to step up, even though she made him look like a complete fool for a year and a half. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. A year and a half. Now, a lot of y'all, because I know, knowing Beast, he wouldn't allow that to happen the day after. Me, I'm that type that has to think about it for a couple of minutes, and I'm like,
I mean, no, I'm going to see. The thing about me is, the longer it takes for me to find out, the worse off you are.
Yeah.
So it's like, in that type of like, you are better off telling me the night you cheated that you cheated, and let me go ahead and process it right then and there. Because once I do find out, and I find out how long, I just go ahead and fix a number, and then I multiply that number by indeterminate number, scale of how pissed off I am on a scale of 1 to 10. So if it took you 6 months and you got me at a 7, yeah, it's gonna be like at least 42 months. I'm gonna be fucking pissed at you and petty and just low key secretly trying to destroy your fucking life.
Right, as you should. But Will Smith, being the nice-hearted man that he is,
which means he got it worse.
Right.
No, which means he got it worse.
He took that shit
when that motherfucker do snap.
Right. He took that shit on the chin. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all have to understand that. That man took that on the chin. He went on his wife's show that's on Facebook, by the way. Didn't have his daughter, didn't have his mother-in-law. It was the table, him, and his wife. He had to take that as a man. Hearing his wife say that while he's balling up in tears like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Even if he knew about it or not, apparently he knew about it, and all this was happening. And he allowed it to happen on his watch as a man. So it was a point in time where eventually he was going to snap. I won't say it was a snap. I would say more of a breaking point. Because when I hear snap, I mean, I'm hearing that everybody in the whole building is going to get it, which did not happen. So I'm going to make this point. I'm going to throw the ball back to you, Beast. So my take is this. Will Smith did his thing like a man. Because at the end of the day, that's his woman. No matter if she has disentanglement or she thinks Tupac was more of a man to her or what have you, whatever. That's his woman. Tupac ain't there, rest his soul. And Cena's ain't there. It's Will Smith. She came there with him. They both set across from each other. And when he won that award, she embraced him, gave him a hug when he went up there to get his award. He took all that shit like a man, unfortunately. Because I know for myself, I would not be harboring that for a year. My ass would have been at that table telling me all this. First of all, I wouldn't even give him my blessing. Which also, let me pull on my conspiracy hat, and you know I hate conspiracy theories. Let's pull on the hat. How did Encina's August ask? How did he say it? Did he say, well, me and Jada was getting kind of close? Because close could mean anything to anybody. Motherly figure, what have you. Man, go ahead. You know, she's helping you out. See, we got to understand deeper in what she mean by you gave him the blessing. What did he exactly say? So, and then also, even if it was a blessing, Jada should have been straight up and told him from Jump Street, hey, baby, you know, something been going on.
You know I like that young meat. Baby, you know I like that young meat.
Right, you know.
I found me one that's right.
Right, and she should have been up front with him from Jump Street. not trying to laugh. And y'all have to understand, you know who y'all know who y'all are. Y'all the ones that dragged that meme with him sitting back in tears, and y'all mean the hell out that fucking
No. Y'all the same ones that dance to entanglement.
Yeah.
Entanglement.
Y'all know who y'all want. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all the ones that sitting there saying the simping part and all that. Y'all sit there, put Will Smith picture in all the memes, including Jada, when she mentioned that, and y'all put all these sorts of memes and creating it in for your situations and try to make it go viral, which majority of them did. So for y'all to sit there and say that man simped, at the end of the day, that's his woman. He did what he's supposed to as a man, because y'all going to be the same ones. If he would have sat there, thought about all those things that Jada put him through, and what y'all also, let's put a hand in it too, even though Jada was the one that started this trend, y'all followed suit. She was the Pied Piper, and y'all followed her. Mm-hmm. If he would have sat there, thought about all that year and a half of y'all dragging him, making fun of him, as well as Jada sitting there, allowed this mess to happen, and he would have sat there, y'all would have sit there and called him a punk. He should have got up and did something. He's weak. He's not a man. Because I know the manosphere would have came at him and would have been like, man, he ain't nothing. He ain't did nothing. He ain't defend his woman. He's not a real man. Y'all know who y'all are. So let's not try to make this about just Will Smith going up here and smacking the shit out Chris Rock for what he said, which we're going to talk about too on the show. Let's not try to make it about, Jada, about Will Smith going up. This goes deeper than what happened at the freaking
and that's why I got my hat on. Thank you for saying that.
It goes deeper. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. We're gonna take a commercial break, and hopefully Billsley comes on in, because I didn't send them the link. I actually sent them the advertisement for today's show.
No, well, while we waiting on Big Bill, and I got this conspiracy black hat on, and I was smoking all this good conspiracy brother weed. Allow me to paint a picture, if you will. Now, if it currently goes, this is Mr. Willard Will Smith's first Oscar, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Not his first Oscar-worthy. Portraying Muhammad Ali, one of the most iconic black men in all of history, and getting the man's blessing before his death, he still was unable. So now, when you are portraying Mr. King Richard Williams, who has way more of a Uncle Phil vibe to his parenting style, yeah, you can't rope a dope that right there. And we all know Mr. Will Smith loves to put his all into his performances and really try to showcase a part of him in that character. He's never showed that true level of disciplinary, like black authority. He's never really had that Uncle Phil vibe himself. In this movie, he had to channel it. In this movie, he had to showcase it. And it may, you call it fortuitous, serendipitous, strategic, tactical, whatever you may, for this moment in time with his personal in-line.
Ladies and gentlemen, apologies for Beast's technical difficulties. Hopefully that he comes back in. Beast, can you hear me? Beast, can you hear me? Once Beast stuff gets together, we're going to come back. So Beast, if you hear me, We're gonna go to commercial break, and we will be hopefully that you get everything good and right and all that stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a commercial break right here. Hopefully, our boy Billingsley comes on in, and we will be right back.
Boy.
Let's get ready for Monday Night Football. Oh, sorry, wrong show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So the reason why we took a commercial break because Beast was having some technical difficulties. Ladies and gentlemen, we love
they ain't want to be telling
back.
the truth.
Yeah.
They ain't want to be telling the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, our boy Billsley. This is Billsley's second time on this show. I think the last time you came on, it was I think it was
for the
when we was doing the election.
Presidential
election.
Yes.
Election, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So before we get Billsley take, Beast, could you go and finish your conspiracy theory?
My conspiracy theory is that it was beautiful. I just found it funny because, hey, like I said, he needed this. He needed to show that, hey, this is my woman. I'm still gonna stand up for her. Yes, because at this point.
He is out again. Beast, can you hear us? I think they're really coming after Beast. I think Beast saying too much truth. So
that truth hit it. That truth hit you. I'm telling you, the truth is a beast. It's a trip, man.
No pun intended with it's a beast.
Exactly. I didn't.
So see, and so
see?
There you go.
There you go.
See,
there you go. It's back.
Because they see, look, when they cut me off, they cut y'all off too. I'm like, see, all I'm saying is this nigga won the Oscar. He slapped the nigga on at the Oscars to prove that he about that. And later on, he got that Oscar. And the day after, the nigga he slapped started his world comedy tour. So you know niggas gonna go in because they expecting to hear him talk about it. And what did he say? Afterwards, Will Smith smacked the shit out of me. And they already got a goddamn song. And that shit slap. All pun intended.
Oh, they already got a song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they go, Will Smith slapped the shit out of me. Keep my wife name out your fucking mouth. That shit out of me. Keep your wife name out your fucking mouth. Will Smith slapped shit out of me. That shit slap my nigga.
Bro, it hasn't even been 24 hours.
Right. Like, come on now. Oh my God.
So I heard the shit. I didn't want to listen to it, but I heard it.
You know what? I'm finding this. I am finding this. But
what made it so bad, I'm watching the video of the song while I'm at the video shoot, and the dancing to the video, I ain't even listening to the song yet. The dancing to the main video is going perfect with the song my niggas is doing the video to. So I was like, damn it, I'm gonna have to. I said, look, and look, they using the old nigga at the goddamn wedding. I was like, oh, I know that shit slap. I seen that, I was like, oh, I got to hear it. I say, oh shit.
All right, so now we got that. Yeah, because we got that out the way. Billsley, from your show, I guess you probably heard me. I mentioned it because I actually watched it, and you gave a great take. Which I gave my love on your show. Like I gave it a thumbs up. I was
Joshua, good point.
Yeah, that's my. Oh, speaking of our Bell Buddy, happy birthday to my boy Bazaris. Let me see what he put with a man finally break.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, he turns.
Bro.
He turns 21 years younger. So, so you had some great points. And I'm not going to spoil it because I'm going to let you say it because I think.
I mean, you can. It don't matter. You can because I mean, you got a higher grade show and everything. So more power to you. Do it.
But I want you to. I think it's only right that you can explain on what you said on your.
It's only right when it's from the horse's mouth,
right? And also y'all need to be tuned into his show. But you had some great points, and I want you to expand upon that here on what led you to your view of what happened at the Oscars.
Well, first of all, I mean, I was lit when I even found out about it, and I was like, am I able to just go ahead and release the beast? I mean,
release no pun intended. We already got beast on the show.
Okay.
You'll be amongst common brethren.
Yeah, you got beast.
Yeah. First of all, I was drunk when I seen it, and I was like really taken aback by this because I was like, okay, first of all, it looks staged. That it did. Mm-hmm. And then when I heard that pop, I was like, wait a minute, did he really come out of nowhere and slap the shit out? I was like, all right, cool. So then my whole thing was I started thinking, and some things came to mind when I seen that. Do you remember a couple of years ago when these two boycotted the Oscars, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. I spoke on that earlier.
It basically said, we don't want to be a part of this.
Oscar's so white.
Right. And now
the Oscar's so fucking black.
Exactly.
It was the blackest the Oscars has ever been. You had two niggas in the award. You let a nigga with an afro speak. You got a nigga hosting, and then you had the two other best known love niggas in the front, Denzel and Tyler, just being there, just being the cool uncles.
And even
you can't get no more blacker.
Samuel Jackson, right? He won last night.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, damn, this is a great moment. You know what I'm saying? But
this is uber black for us.
Yeah. But regardless of the fact, my whole thing was this. This guy throws the joke. And I understand what you're saying, Darnell. To go ahead and defend your woman, it makes sense. I get that. I get it. But there's a way to do that. There is a way to do that. You get in front of all these white people.
Fat McCary.
Right. You go up in front of all these white faces and do that to a man, and you slapped him knowing that both of you are fathers. You both got kids. Chris Rock's kids are younger, right?
No.
And they're going to have to walk and deal with that on a regular basis. That's number one, right? You think, no?
You's a well-known nigga that slapped another well-known nigga in front of more well-known white people.
Exactly. There you go.
That's number one. Then it's the family trickle down.
That's
on TV.
On TV. And now the thing is, you do that to a whole nother black man right there. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm doing this because I'm a protector and everything, which he cried and said later on. But see, this is my bullshit on this, right? First of all, that's a bitch move. You went up to one of the smallest men in Hollywood, right? And then you slapped him.
You in the building, preacher.
Slap the taste out of his mouth because you were upset about a joke. Where was this energy when Autumn fucked your wife, bro? Literally he fucked the brakes off of her. But yet and still, you go up to
No. Where was this energy when your wife was reminiscing about dead dick? It's one thing to reminisce. It's one thing to reminisce about a nigga that blew your back out of high school, and you still remember the good old days, knowing good and well he done lost a leg, his back got scoliosis. He ain't nowhere near. You as the man in the relationship, that dick is disabled. You ain't got to worry about it. She over here. She over here reminiscing about dick that has been departed. Right. It is dearly departed. It is beyond the point of exhuming. Right. Bitch, you talking about dick that you need a Ouija board to get. She's trying to have some damn Demi Moore, Patrick Swayze ghost love and shit. What the fuck, bitch? Right. This is the dick you love. This is the dick you crave. Every other dick on this world don't do shit because it ain't Tupac. And since Tupac is dead, he's not in Cuba. Because if he was in Cuba, Jada wouldn't be here. So we should know that right now. For everybody wondering if Tupac is dead, yes, Tupac is dead. Because if Tupac was alive, Jada would be right there up under his nuts.
Real quick, and then I'm gonna pass the mic back to the. If Tupac
now you gotta get it busy. Please go back.
No. If Tupac was mysteriously still alive in Cuba, the Red Table Talk will already had a show. Stop moving. Go ahead, go switch.
But that's what killed me about this whole bullshit because she missed that man so much that your kid is writing letters to him. Talking about please come back and make my mommy happy. Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear that part, Pinky. Wow,
you got to look that up. What's that Willow girl? Yeah, Willow.
Yeah.
She's part of the cast.
Yo, she wrote a letter to Tupac saying, "Please come back and help make so my mommy can be happy again." And I was like,
"Bitch, you weren't even thought about when this nigga." Lord Jesus.
Thank you. And imagine I'm your father. Fuck you. This is the way I'm looking at it. Number one.
How I see it. When we had that table, it took everything in me. Now I'd have had to say it on camera, so I wouldn't have done it. Girl, you look at this camera here. Like we need these cameras here because having this conversation, I'd either slapped you or then threw this table at you.
Ike Turner moment for real.
Yo,
it would have been more than Eat the Cake anime.
No. It wouldn't have been Ike. No. When you talking about it'd have been a Tina moment. Tina in the limo, and I'm gonna be Tina.
Look,
when she fought back,
bitch, I'm about to dig. Bitch, I've been waiting on this shit, bitch.
Oh, my brothers. Let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes. Oh I am in a state of shock of hearing that information. Now, before anybody jumps in, let me just clear my mind for what I just.
The Willow part. About the Willow part.
Yes, I mean. Look,
yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I skimmed over that too. That's first time for me. Thank you, Billingsley.
It's a bad thing to where, knock on wood, if you had a kid either a wedlock or you just got divorced,
I don't give a damn.
And you got another man that's in the house with your kid, and they sitting there saying all these things, and then when you go get your kid and you hearing it from them, one of the biggest things as a man. Now I know I don't have no kids. Bills, you have a kid. One of the things that you should be doing as a father, maybe if you have a son, you're supposed to teach your son about the birds and bees, teach them how to hunt, teach them how to treat a woman, to teach them how to freaking basically be a man. Put your pants on, tie your shoes, ride a bike. When he falls down, I'm only gonna help you one time, but the next time that's on you, and you better not cry. You teach your kids, you teach your son how to be a man. Now, if you have a little girl, in this case, his daughter, you gotta teach her, this is how a boy's supposed to treat you. You know, protect yourself.
This is how a man is supposed to interact around you.
Right.
And then, but unfortunately, your kid comes back to your house. Look at what JoJo showed me. He told me about the birds, or you try to tell him about the birds and bees. You know the birds and bees. Oh, don't worry. Uncle Leroy, he told me. What? Oh, what he did?
Uncle who?
Uncle what?
No. I mean, no. Oh. Okay, no. It's kind of cool. It's tolerable. If A, the nigga's around, and B, there's some kind of three-way understanding. You know, like you know this nigga.
And that's why I'm about to jump on.
She know this nigga. Y'all know this nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Like that type of situation. No matter how you feel about this nigga. Okay. Because not everybody agrees on godparents. So you got some uncles and aunts that godparents that's only from one parent. Right. The other parent got a whole nother. Don't mean you feel what I'm saying? So, but I'm thinking like it's a dead nigga. Uncle Leroy dead. How the fuck you talk to Uncle Leroy?
But look, but he's
me and Mama was using this alphabet board with a circle in the middle. Was you holding something on it?
Oh,
yeah. Was there some candles? You ain't going to your mama's house.
Here's my take on the whole entire thing though. I'm gonna use my situation for example. My girlfriend got a niece, and you know her dad and her mom are separated, and you know I try to be like kind of like big brother because she be coming in with those skimpy clothes, and I'm like, girl, you better put on a shirt, and she's like, what? I'm like, put on a shirt, but then I had to stop myself. I'm like, I'm not her dad. I gotta stop. You know. That should be her dad doing that. But I know in the back of my mind, that's probably not happening. But that's up to him to do that. Yeah. That's up to the mom to do that. But when you're in my sights, I'm still going to tell you, cover that up, girl. You.
I'm saying it's a respectful way. It's a respectful way for you as like a non-parent to approach that, especially like from a man to because I got goddaughters, and I'm like, hey. No, put some clothes on. Put some clothes on.
Yeah, go ahead. Read Bazaars. He makes a great point. So going back to my point, it should be when you got your own daughter. Not trying to get too much off the track. When you got your own daughter, make imaginary notes to somebody who passed away. That's disturbing to me. That is very disturbing.
When you got your daughter. When your daughter knows about a nigga that wasn't even around before you met your mama, that is the issue. That's the root.
Yeah. That's the disrespectful part. So if I was Will Smith, I think we all.
Well, let me take this hat off because I'm a brother in the parent.
We all wish that we was in Will Smith's shoes when all this stuff was happening. I'm gonna tell you, I do because. Knowing that,
I just want the money. I just want the money because trust me, that whole even if we was cool and everything, trust and believe. The second August would have popped up, it'd have been some little bitch. It'd been some little random bitch that everybody know and been trying to put dick in, and then they find out, Beast Johnson, cornball ass Beast Johnson piping it down. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
But my take is
like Jay over here fucking August Alsina. Oh, I mean, yeah, damn, yeah, that's cool. And then you find out Jill Scott then did a whole dick sucking song about Will Smith.
What?
And just Will Smith just sitting over there smiling.
No, let me get to my point.
But that's how it's supposed to be. That's what it was supposed to be. Like if you cool, like that's why he was crying. He was crying because he had no bitch worth bringing up at that time. And it's like all the bad bitches that he was either trying to get with, he didn't have a good point. Like, nah, I can't bring your ass out here. I need a bad bitch with some clout to her. And all the bad bitches I was fucking with clout. I either ain't fucking them right now, or I stopped fucking them before this goddamn show. That's why I'm fucking crying right now. I ain't got no credible bitch to balance this shit out with right now.
But look, let me finish my point. Damn it, shit. My point is, Will Smith should have had a serious conversation, not only with Willow, but also with Jada. Like, now you got our daughter.
Man, should have had stable side bitches. That's what we should have had.
Who don't know anything about Tupac other than he's a rapper. And then number two, that I'm her goddamn father. She swam in my nuts. Yeah, I said that, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn right.
And also,
bitch, I made this motherfucker.
Real quick, I want to give him this time.
I am the dough that made the bun that went into your oven. Not this bandana nose ring having nigga over here. What's wrong with you, ho? I'm the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I want to make this one point real quick.
I'm the flyest cowboy and smoothest aerospace nigga you will ever meet. Ho, like, you lost your motherfucking mind. I look good with allergy things, bitch.
I want to make this point real quick because it's been bothering me.
Bitch, I'm so fly. Rappers do whole songs about my life.
I don't want to. I just want to bring this out because I think it fits perfectly in what we are talking about.
I'm here for you. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, you do give life. You do give life. Yes, you cherish the kids. But guess what? It takes a seed. The man.
Call me Johnny. I specialize in apples.
I mean, we just don't look at a tree and just say, "Oh, the tree has just got here." No, the tree need a seed to be planted, and
then you look at you're supposed to look at the tree like that was a healthy seed right there.
Yeah, so
good seed right there. Hey, you selling that seed? Hey, you selling that seed?
So, but going back to what Billsley was saying, that's sad when you got your daughter sitting there talking about somebody that's not even here that she never even met. And Jada, like I said earlier, Jada is the Pied Piper to what's been happening to Will Smith. But Will Smith is such a great guy. Before The Rock was making these videos about positivity and all that stuff, Will Smith was doing that years in advance.
Well, it's just like when they said Denzel came up and talked to him afterwards and said the devil comes to you when you're at your highest point. I mean, I'm cool.
He's like, good job, my nigga. They came up, good job, my nigga. The motherfuckers believe that shit.
I'm cool with him saying that, but he's been living with the devil for over 20 years. Who's
great point.
Right.
Great point.
I mean, who else? We've heard nothing else about Will Smith doing anything out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? Like, except for whatever trouble he had financially at one point in time, then that he got over that. But you don't hear about him doing anything off the hook. Even if he is, no one is hearing about it. But yet and still, anytime there has been a hiccup, who has been the common denominator? His wife. And that's the sad part about this whole thing. It's that she's supposed to be a person that protects him, that loves him, that, etc. Right? In the past 2 years, she has put this guy through hell. It is no way, shape, and form you're going to sit across from me, and I'm married to you, and you're going to tell not only me, but the whole freaking world that you were in an entanglement. Fuck you. It's over with. I would have took that table and threw it on her ass, because I'm telling you that
I'm about to entangle my hand around your motherfucking throat.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and slap a whole different man in front of everybody to go ahead and supposedly get your manhood back. Who you supposed to have slapped or even beat the holy tar out of is freaking August or whatever else. Matter of fact,
Thank you. Vindication.
Right, but
I'm sorry.
Let's take it a step back from that too.
We will share meat on the hill I down. Good sir.
He has no ties with that August guy. The only ties he have in this is with his wife, and that's who he should have dealt with from the very beginning.
And that's the same thing that Beast was saying. Beast was saying
Right.
the same thing. He should have checked her from the rip. And I just dropped my phone. Just checked her from the rip and like, yo, what's going on? Like, you gonna allow this to freaking happen? Now I should have been whipping his ass, but it looked like I got whipped your ass first.
I mean,
and I want to correct what you said about her taking Will Smith through hell. He's in hell. She just intensified the heat. You know, it was at 350. Yeah. It was at 350. Now that sucker's at like 620 right now, and it's probably getting a little higher.
But you know what? I would respect him more after this if he not only slapped Chris Rock, but he go after every one of those Mickey Fishes that did that.
I'm waiting for you to say that because a lot of the comedians,
his wrist should be broke with as many people he want to go ahead and beat down on a regular. But who is it? Shannon Sharp and some other cats.
Shannon Sharp said it's the best. I'd have whooped his ass too.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, you know, Shay,
that's my uncle.
Right?
Oh, you know, that's my uncle right there.
Shay made it cool, but I tell you this.
Me Uncle Shannon, boy.
those cats made some very good points about this whole situation. He was like, imagine if that was Amy Schumer or somebody else who made a joke like that, right?
No, Uncle Shannon was supposed to be for the church, but he was too real for it.
Oh yeah. But
he was supposed to be a preacher, but he was too real for the church.
Right.
No. He was supposed to, like, God called him to be a pastor, but the church said, "Nah, you too real for us."
Right. Because they got to protect their money too. So I mean, that's the main thing. But like, if that was somebody else, that was, I mean, you know, different than who Chris Rock was, would he have taken that same action? I don't think so. It's just like,
thank you for saying that.
Huh? Yeah, because I get that you got stuff going on in here, if it's real or not, or whatever else. At this point, I get that, but at the same time, you can't just go. What's up?
I'm waiting for you to finish. I'm just over here on the side, like, "Ooh, I'm ready for you to finish your flourish so I can blind tag him."
You just can't jump on people like that. I mean, imagine if that was like I said earlier, if it was Terry Crews. I'm not saying that he would say something like that, but that's a gorilla right there. He throw a joke at you, he's gonna whoop your ass. Okay. Right. If it was The Rock, if it was some other person that was different,
had that aura.
Chris Rock was, I'm telling you, that ass whooping. You think that slap was one thing? He would have been folded like a chair, and he would have threw his ass right back where Jada was sitting at. Because
number one, he wouldn't have got that far.
Exactly.
If it was anybody else, even if he had that energy, if it's real, and we're going into pretenses, this is real.
Right.
Anybody else other than Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, or the bulk of comedians,
right?
Bulk of notable black comedians.
He wouldn't have did
and that's exclusion of the Wayans because them niggas will throw hands.
I got one for you.
And they look like he at least ducked one good time.
Who's that one white comedian that has a black audience? I forgot his freaking name.
Gary Owens.
Gary Owens. And now Gary Owens.
Oh no, you wouldn't. No. Gary Owens would literally sit there like Chris Rock and talk the whole time and be like, "Now Will, really, Will, now really, come, God damn it, Will, you gonna smack the shit out of me like a bitch?" No, he would turn into a whole fucking joke.
You know what?
Side note, that might be the one time Gary actually say nigga.
No.
And it might be, and then what? No, maybe the first time a white man said nigga to a nigga face on TV, and even niggas was like, "Oh nah, he was right in saying that. You slap me, that's literally the first thing, nigga."
And that's the thing. That's the thing that that incited me.
But I'll go back. You said who it is.
It's that it's not only that. It's that you took one of the lowest form of disrespect. The number one way to go ahead and totally disrespect somebody is to spit on them. But the thing is,
that's universal.
Exactly.
before a man slap me. Slap me for. I'd rather you spit in my face than slap me.
Yeah, you don't respect me enough to punch me in the face. Your respect to me is to slap me. Oh, you got to die. You got to get your ass whooped.
Like I said, I'd rather you spit at me first, as opposed to, because with spit there's some distance. You feel me?
No.
But to slap a man,
yeah.
I gotta be close. I gotta be within arm's length. So that's about a good 3 feet.
So hold what you got, B. So this is what Bizarre's put. He said, "Do you think that a man that's broken would have still tried?" I would say yes. Would he get his ass whooped?
No, yes.
With a few of them? Hell yeah.
Yes. Yes, dude.
Oh hell yeah, most definitely. But going back to the point back to what Billy was saying with the whole person. And this is why I say it's fake. I say it stays like a shoot match, like we stated earlier.
I was about to, and when you
go back to like, because remember what you said, it sounded real. Well, this is what I know from personal experience. I've never taken acting classes, but I've done enough little like general acting over the years and shit like that. And I remember one time specifically, I was acting in, and it was like the host. I was supposed to be like the domestic abusing boyfriend. So his friend was like, "Bitch, you gonna fuck me? Since you ain't gonna fuck me, I'm gonna backhand you, kick you out the car." So that was the whole little setup or whatever. And I had it set up to where I slapped her with the right, but I clapped my hand.
Right.
So I like, put all my effort into it.
Right.
Yeah, like that. But you didn't see the hands move. So I did it so smooth, and she played with it, and they heard that smack. And even the teacher swore to God. Everybody swore to God I slapped her. Everybody swore up and down I backhanded her for real. Even we both told them I did not. Like there's no fucking way you gonna tell me he did not actually hit you. We all heard it. Like this nigga did not even touch me. Like it's called acting, dumbass. And we know shooting. We know with wrestling.
Yeah, and not trying to cut you off to go into that wrestling.
But go ahead and make your point.
We all thought it was fake because Will Smith. Now, if we could go back to an award show where he won,
I was saying it could be fake, and then
and Jim Carrey was trying to kiss him, and that's what I was thinking. I was like,
no,
okay,
it wasn't
I
Jim
see.
Carrey.
Yeah,
it was
but I like this, man.
Yeah, but I mean, it was. It's like how Will Smith went.
And down there, both of y'all agree with me this off? But y'all agree with me that you're not gonna have a nigga from hello. Yeah.
Slap drill.
Agree with me on this. You're not gonna have a nigga from Philly and a nigga from Bronx.
Yeah.
Bronx, New York and Philly.
Oh, that's a big rivalry.
These are the areas. Now what we okay. Now this is what we all know about man. If a man make a beeline for another man, no matter the situation, the surroundings, no matter the already preconceived notion, general man instinct says the closer he gets, your body's going to adjust to some kind of way. Yeah, figuring out how the situation is. So if you don't know what the situation is, you're more liable to go into defense. Body's going to either hand gonna come up, shoulders gonna drop back, something.
Yeah,
Chris Rock stood there, arms back, chin out.
Yeah.
Like he waited for it. He ate it.
Yeah, you got.
Oh no.
No. So we gonna talk about Chris Rock.
Ain't no nigga from Philly ain't no nigga from Bronx gonna eat a punch from a nigga from Philly and that nigga one good time.
All right, so that's why we're gonna switch it to Chris Rock because I think we kind of bashing on Will Smith a little too much, and it should not be all about Will Smith because I believe that Chris Rock for me, like I said, this is for me. I don't.
I feel like he gets enough help from everybody else, so I'm gonna make sure. The just motherfuckers catch theirs first.
So you know me, I keep the same energy on both sides. You know, Will Smith.
I ain't saying you wrong, Chris. Right. I'm just saying, sit down. We'll get to you later.
I said that what Will Smith did, he handled his things like a man. But going to what Bill's saying and what you were saying, Beast, at the same time, dude, you've been drugged by your wife and everybody else for a year and a half. Well, 2 years now.
Yeah.
You've been drugged. And you sit there and you taking that. Yes, you taking it like a man, but you're not stepping up like a man and being like, look, you caused this.
Yeah.
You did all this.
Yep.
Why are you putting me through this? So I'm gonna keep that same energy with Chris Rock. So now going to Chris Rock. Here's my thing. Because now comedians have been under the fire these past couple years. Can we agree? You know, with Dave Chappelle, with people like
Why?
So, well,
now I'm just gonna keep asking that question, like, why?
Yeah, so comedians, I think this is the most that comedians have their feet not even in the fire. They are in the fire. And sometimes I think it's justified, but then at the end of the day, I'm thinking, you know, that's what comedians supposed to do. I believe at this time, he crossed the line with this one. When you know that, I think that's the question right there. Did he know that Jada was having this condition and begins to pee? I didn't know. I didn't know that she was having that condition. But
regardless of whether he knew or not.
Let me continue. Let me continue. So, you know, with her having that condition, I just found out after the fact, like, oh yeah, she having a condition, and for him to make that joke. And here's nothing too. People think the joke set Will Smith off. Rewatch that video. Rewatch it. It wasn't
it was
a
her.
joke.
It was her.
It was. Now I'm gonna put
it was her response
to as well. Her response and what after Chris Rock said. He said that was a nice one or something. He said that was a nice joke. Yeah. That's to me what set Will Smith off. Because I think he was laughing at the joke and then saw what she was. You know how, like, when you know somebody's crossing the line with your homeboy, you like, oh, you laugh and you see their reaction like, oh, and then they say something at the end. That's what made Will Smith snap. Because you just go sit there and go, because like I said, ladies and gentlemen, on paper, they are married. And you go sit there and say that was a nice joke? Motherfucker, what?
Well,
go ahead.
As a married person, I can tell you that what happened, more than likely, just like you said, it was in a mode of he's laughing about it, and then all of a sudden he see her reaction, and he already knows what that reaction will incur. Beyond all of that, there probably was a conversation before they even got there about something totally different. And a typical guy would be like, I don't want to go through this shit on the ride back home. So I'm gonna go ahead and deal with this right now.
I'm sorry.
So I don't have to deal with this shit later on. That's real. That's real. That's what guys do with this, man. Because
that is real.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that shit. So therefore, it was like it's either two ways. It was either, like we said, it was either stage or you're about to get these hands, so I don't have to hear this shit when I go home.
Yeah, and I think that falls into it too as well. You know, because then also it does go back.
Then that all falls back to that body language and presentation.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like she don't respect him, and he's constantly having to prove his love.
Right.
Yeah. Every night he got to fight to prove his love.
And it goes back to what you said earlier. You know, with this all built up, and Billy, you touched on this too. You got all this pent up 2 years of anger about the whole situation, but you took it out on the wrong person. But going back to Chris Rock, you knew that you were stepping on a landmine. You were just hoping that was going to be a dud. And so for him, I'm gonna have to say it. You know,
the way you put it that way, I would definitely agree because it does go back to my whole point. At this point, his perception of it, it's like a dead horse at this point.
Right, so, and when you
that's how he went into it.
And here's where I lose my how can I put it for comedians when they sit there and say, well, you know, it's my job, and this is why I lose respect when it comes to this point. When you make a joke, let's say you know, there's a comedy spot down here in Tacoma. They got one in Seattle, but I like the one in Tacoma, which also they just recently owned a all black owned comedy spot. I think called Nick Jackson's Super Funny Comedy. So whenever y'all come over here, Billsy, you the closest to me.
Yeah.
When y'all come over here, we go in there because I think the one in Tacoma got some good ass wings, but that's a different story. Their wings, their wings are bomb, and I think the crazy thing is, it's white owned.
You can't tempt no black fat man with wings now.
Oh my god! I mean, is the establishment is white owned. My boy, what's his name?
If there's lemon, garlic, parmesan,
they got that,
or at least 3 variations of barbecue.
Yes, they got that.
I'm with it.
My boy, and the last show that we went to, we got in luckily was Bruce. That was my first Bruce show. That sucker is funny.
You seen Bruce?
Bruce.
Oh
man. The thing, look, here's the crazy thing. It was sold out, and they got me in for a 2 seats because I actually won. I won the drawing.
Yeah.
Of going to a brunch show, but I came there late because of I was getting into the National Guard and all that shit, so I came late, and they worked me in, and it was like, "Hey, 2 seats just opened up. You want to take them?" Sure. Well, I said, Bruce, hell yeah. I've been missing my boy Earthquake. I've been missing him. He be coming over here heavy.
Earthquake is a beast too. Yeah. He is. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Earthquake,
you
DC
gotta
zone.
treat that night.
Yeah.
You gotta.
So when y'all come over here, we gotta go to that Tacoma spot, and then I'm gonna see who else performing at the one near the post. But not getting off the subject. So when the comedian goes out on that stage,
right,
and let's say somebody in the audience just had a divorce. His wife just filed the paperwork like, I want a divorce. And he's making jokes about a divorce.
Which has happened.
Right. And this guy is feeling some type of way. But let's take it a step further because comedians be doing this. Let's say he points this dude out in the crowd because, he got nobody at the table. He's over here just slamming back daiquiris, trying to get a good laugh. But damn, you kind of telling my story out there. And he's just dogging him about divorce. Like, man, you look like you're divorced and all that stuff. How you think that person?
I guess that goes. But that goes into the comedian themselves,
right? And I'm happy that you said that. And I'm happy that you said that because that's why that was my segue. Now segue to this. Majority of the time with comedians' material, they experienced it. So if I'm like this, I'm not going to talk about being married or joke about being married when I've never been married. I'm not going to sit there and say, you know me, y'all know me, I'm a Ford man. I can't stand Chevys. I can't sit there and say I hate Chevys and I never drove a Chevy. You like, hold up, man. Whoa, hold up. Man, all you drove was Ford. Man, all you drank is Coca-Cola. How do you hate Pepsi if you never tried it? You can't knock it until you try it. So when you have comedians out there that saying these things that they never have experienced, to me makes all the difference because using my analogy, using my example, and he'd be like, oh man, don't worry, dog. I've been through a divorce. 3 bitches, man. 3. And I got kids with every single one of them. I.e. Country Wayne. Country Wayne, love you. I love you, dog. I love you. But you gotta think of it like that, It's
it
like
goes the subject matter and the comic. Right. The only reason I agree to disagree is because I seen the comic that kind of specializes in that in the sense of like he had one set where he was like just talking shit to folk, doing it. And he ended up pretty much running across somebody in the audience that went to jail for murder.
Right.
And he was picking on like, anybody went to jail, just talk shit about him. Like, oh, you went in there for some bullshit. What he was in there for? You're like, oh shit, you did 8 years for murder?
Right.
Okay. Right. He's like, now I got to be real chill. He's like, you can't but he turned that into a whole.
But you switch it up. Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like he got everybody because he said, because that was the answer. It was like, well, damn. Now I gotta ask you because people want to know, but I'm trying to figure out the nicest way to ask you so I don't be the reason you go back again. Like that's how he kind of That's how he kind of worked it in there because it's like let's acknowledge it for what it is and then roll with it. But that was the beautiful part about it.
But let me ask you. Let me go ahead and throw this at you, right?
Go ahead.
How old are these two people? They're like in their 50s, right?
Good point.
Yeah,
right.
They're seasoned.
That's number one. Number two, when in the history, except for the Source Awards, please don't bring that up. But
we don't speak on that. We don't speak. Look, it's like the box. It's like the boxing hot tub time machine. We don't speak on it. It shouldn't even be in the box.
That's what I'm saying. What other time in history have you heard somebody going at somebody like that at an award show of that caliber?
I've never heard of it as an award show ever.
Never.
It's the first time I've ever heard of something like black people fighting in an award show.
Yeah, and that's the most embarrassing thing about it. You got two black men, two famous, respectable,
OGs, basically
black men, OGs, to go at each other in the middle of an award show where at one point in time black people wasn't even allowed in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And now now times have changed so much where you didn't even want to be there because you felt that black people weren't being represented. Matter of fact, let's take this step
Never
back.
in history.
You didn't even go to the Grammys at one point in time because hip hop wasn't being represented in the Grammys.
They didn't want to show us on the award. They didn't want to put the awards on televised. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And so now you were a pioneer when it came to that, and now you get on an award show that you not only boycotted at one point in time, but now black people are accepted in a way that you could have a moment like you had last night, and then you piss on it by going to a whole nother black man and slapping the shit out of him. I mean, Chris Rock, but like you said a couple of minutes ago, we'll stay on him. He has a job to do. And basically the way I look at it is like this. Somebody approved that joke before it went out there. I don't care who it was or whatever else. Somebody approved it before it came out there. He is not the only one that should be catching hands. Who did this, man? That's what's up, man.
Oh, boy.
Big Dan. That's Big Dan right there.
Yeah, played that.
Better Life. Yeah. Yeah, for real.
Exactly.
And see, before Billsy continue, before we go on, Dan hit a great point. I like everybody. I like all the brothers hit some great points, Dan. And then also McCary, I put up his comment. Never in the history of nigga.
This is like no. You gotta say it right. You gotta say it right. This is for McCary. Never in the history of nigga.
So before we go any further, I'm gonna hit on that point that our boy Dan said, because I think Beast hit on it a little earlier in the show.
He laughed so hard he froze.
He laughed at first, and Billsy, I think also you brought it up too. He laughed.
Yeah,
you know, he laughed like ha ha ha, and obviously the camera didn't show him looking at Jada of her reaction, because I guarantee you that when he was laughing a little, I knew he was kind of laughing like, oh shit.
Right.
And he saw Jada, and Jada's like,
she had to look like, you
gonna let him talk to me like that? And I think when he said that was a nice one, to me, I still believe it was that end part where he told his wife that was a nice joke, and he got up. I think that was the, as my boy Bizarre always say, boom goes to dynamite. That's where
and it really was. It really wasn't even like a play. It wasn't even like, all right, alopecia, whatever. She got a short haircut. Hey, she wear the cut well. Because not too many women can wear a ball. Not too many men can wear a ball.
Right.
Yeah. And so
whether she got some condition or not, G.I. Jane is a compliment in my eyes.
Thank you.
And that's and see, when he said G.I. Jane 2 was coming out, I literally thought
it's better than dirty ball-headed tennis. It's better than ball-headed dirty tennis ball.
No, I knew what he was talking.
But
when he said that, I knew what he was talking about. I was like, this guy.
but the thing is, and one thing that people seem to forget, that comedians put themselves out there in the middle of a landmine, or as we say in the military building, IEDs, that they hide and freaking goddamn dead animals, garbage. Like, I still get freaking worried when I have to walk around freaking bags of trash, because they taught us it could be an IED, could be a bomb up in there. So when he said that joke, people are missing the point. Oh yeah, he's a comedian, but also the comedians have to also understand what situations that they put themselves in. Going back to the story that that B said, going to that show where that dude was joking on the dude, what you got went to jail for? Oh, I went in jail for murder.
But see, I see what you're saying.
Look,
You're right.
How about this? Because now that I think about it, maybe Chris's thought process, or at least a comedian's thought process, a comedian looking at that time in the position, you know, you got to kind of joke with everybody in the front anyway. You're seeing them two in the front, knowing what we know, instead of him bringing up the entanglement situation, which he could have.
Yeah.
He just made.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! Ladies and gentlemen, that was not me. What the heck is going on? I don't know who to blame.
The conspiracy is on
conspiracy,
Beast.
Ladies and gentlemen. It happened on this show before. It did to me. But we know our boy Beast going here. Here he is. He's coming back in. It's a conspiracy on this show. What's going on?
CEO conspiracy.
Look, they froze him. Why he can't come back on the show? I don't know what the heck's going on. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this. All right, cool. He's back in. So I won't make
like the engine like bam.
I want to make this point real quick. I want to make this point because Mr. Jones was actually supposed to come on the show. I actually sent him the link. I know he's gonna get back at me like, yo, man, I was busy. Mr. Joe, who's a sponsor of he owns Chairboy Popcorn, by the way. Don't forget to get y'all popcorn. So my point is this. Now, if you want to know who's wrong, I think it's shared on both sides. Now, like I said, this is coming from me. It's equally shared because I see what people are saying about Will Smith, about what all the stuff that he's carrying. And I think he thought that, you know, I'm sick and tired of this shit. This dude's coming at my wife. Mainly when you come at my wife, you coming at me. I'm a step up and be a man. I understand the man part, but we're not gonna forget. But let me see what McCurry put down. Get back to my point. Garrett always said the same thing on the post today. He did think he was disrespecting Jada and thought they were look. Okay, on that point, McCarry,
you ain't shit for that.
Look. But look, don't go back to the point I was trying to say earlier. You the host, you doing the Oscars. That's what they do every year with the comedians. Like, you got to joke with the folk in the front.
And that's
I could have said something about your fucked up ass marriage. I just said, hey, baby girl, you looking good with that shortcut. Very G.I. Jane. Powerful. Look, I didn't call you a bald head scallywag.
That's something totally different. But see, that's what I'm saying. We're talking about how the behavior of Chris Rock should have been. I mean, think about it. In other award shows like the Golden Globes, what is that?
That's what you do.
Oh my gosh. Do you not remember how he ripped everybody in that place? Anybody that was getting an award, it was the waiters, anybody, he ripped everybody. And then to the point that when he hosted it for the last time and he knew it was going to be his last time, he let loose. I mean, he was setting nuclear bombs up in that place. And I was like, how is nobody said anything? They were laughing, everybody was laughing. But now we're worried about the behavior of comedians because of this one incident. I don't think it's very fair for Chris Rock, because now you're going to take him, possibly depending on how he is as a person after this, you're going to take him out of his groove of being as creative as he usually is. Now you're going to have comedians with fucking bodyguards at the front. You know,
See, when I say that, I always believe that comedians, yes, you're supposed to joke around with, you know. I mean, Richard Pryor started it all. This man was making fun of himself getting burnt by a crack pipe. He said, if you light a freaking match, that's Richard Pryor running across the street. I mean, exactly.
If I'm willing to make light of myself, why you think I won't make light of you?
Right. And for me, I think it's just the experience. The comedian have to have that experience for them to joke about it. That's just me. You gotta give me an experience with it. You know, if I was a crackhead, you know, a recovering crackhead, and a comedian started joking about, you know, smoking crack and crackheads and all that stuff, I'm expecting him to have a history,
right,
or experienced it. And then and that's how you connect. You're like, oh shit. He said, man, I remember that crack pipe. That crack pipe was a bitch. And I would be, you know, the hardest people that should be laughing is the, you know, recovering, you know, crackheads.
Or what she could have did was simply like this. Or, you know, waved her head or did something like that, and it's cool. But nah, she up there taking it all to heart and stuff, man. But like I said, I'm not saying that comedians aren't responsible for what they say and do and everything like that. But dude, you can't take people out of the groove like that and have them worry about their craft at this point. You know, I mean, and yeah, I don't know, man. They turned that into the Source Awards for about 2 years.
It was a Source. Yeah, it was a Source Awards. The only difference is, you know, they just muted out all. They muted out what they were saying, and see, that's when, because I said, man, there's some WWE shit going on here, like, because usually when WWE, when they cut out somebody's mic like that, you know, Vince is like, That's some CM Punk, the pipe bomb. When he's sitting there saying all that stuff, I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Right.
You know, he said, you told John Cena you kissing Big Man's ass, and you know, Vince is never going to turn his business over till he's dead and gone, and give it to his snagger-tooth son-in-law, Paula Vick, and his dumbass daughter, and his mic cuts off.
Dude, when he did that, I was like, what the hell is going on, man? And then he go on and said, they turned off my mic. And I was like, what did you expect? You expect the billionaire guy to just go ahead and let you rip him completely, which he already was. As far as he went, I was like, dude, he's trying to get killed because Vince don't care.
I mean, I'm saying he does not care. I mean, Vince got the power of not only just his business, he also got the power of the freaking networks. People think that the networks control WWE. No, Vince still have a majority share in his business that his dad crafted and he created into his own. He could tell the networks, you know, shove it. We could go somewhere else. Like nobody didn't know what TNN was when TNN used to be the country station, and they did. I remember we proud to be pop. And everybody was watching TNN. Like, get the F on out here.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, but I don't know, man. It's just I usually like I said before, I usually don't get too involved in stuff like this because sometimes it's fabricated. Sometimes it's one of those type of deals of inciting people to go ahead and tune in and all this other stuff. But the thing is, I think this was a bullshit move on this guy. I'm hoping he learned from this, but at the same time, you're a 50-something-year-old guy. You've been in the business for over 20 years. Matter of fact, the actual first time I ever heard of Will Smith, I was in elementary school, and that's his first album came out. And I'm thinking, for a person who's been in this business for that long a period of time, to have somebody who's been in a business longer than you have come up to you and says, the devil's come after you when you're at your highest point. That's it. Nobody told, I mean, you ain't see Sidney Poitier giving Denzel a talk like that. Hell no.
No, because Sidney Poitier already smacked that damn white dude. That was a slap her around the world. He smacked that damn white dude. Like, You realize Sidney Poitier ain't said shit else in that fucking in that scene.
Oh,
that white dude, that cop, he was sitting there saying, "You gonna let him do that to me?"
That's why right there, when I read his book, I'm telling you, Sidney Poitier is Black Superman. He was Black Superman from day one. When he came over to this country, he was like 16 years old, right? And this dude he was dating models at the time. And I was like, wait a minute, you're a dishwasher in fucking New York. Yet you're dating models? You don't got money? How are you doing that? Oh, you slanging. I got you. But other than that, he worked his way up into getting into movies like that and breaking barriers. And he even told people, like in interviews and in this book that I read, he was like, it wasn't him that was writing the scenes, or you know how you have an actor that will suggest something or whatever. He was like, it was the producers that was doing that. And he was like, so it's showing at that time period that a change was coming, and he wanted to be a part of that. So I don't know, man. That shit, he was awesome. But you didn't see that beforehand. You didn't see that at the Oscars beforehand.
No, and
that's a shame.
I get the, you know, take the person to the side and all that stuff, but
exactly,
you know, I ain't gonna lie. I am all about taking somebody to the side and talking to them.
Yeah,
you know, like let's talk it out. But I would say this, and this would justify what Will Smith did. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I said that I agree with him on the principle of a man defending his woman. That's the premise I agree on.
Mm-hmm.
But it does not negate or take away the 2 years that he got drugged, made fun of, and all that stuff. Yeah. So that's what takes the legitimacy of what he did. But I agree with the principle.
Right.
But here's the thing. When you got that much anger built in, and you're just like, you know, unfortunately, it'd be the wrong person that gets it out you, and you take it out on them, while the other people that's been doing this to you for the past 2 years or 4 years, 10 years are walking home, enjoying their lives, enjoying their martinis, or you know, living their best life. Which that's why and this is for a whole different show, and this is why I hate black dramas, because the people that should be the ones getting their ass whipped, you got people like Tom Perry making these damn movies. God's gonna fix it. It's like, what? Like, you gonna have this person either cheat on me or been doing me dirty. Actually, all Tyler Perry movies have to deal with cheating. I realize that.
Dude, Tyler Perry movies are a mixture of black drama and Lifetime movies. It's just written better and have a bigger budget. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, and I'm not pissing on his movies. I think I'm not gonna say I agree with it, but I understand. You're right. I mean, and the thing is, it's just it's like I said, the bottom line is it's really sad that it had to be like
it had to come to this
Negroes to come through and do something like that. Because now, I mean, in one instant, if it was two white guys, it'd have been like, well, oh boy is showing that he's not taking any crap from anybody. He's gone through a lot in his life. No, you're hearing none of that. You're hearing none of that for these two. And what's killer about it, the killer thing about it is this. You have the LAPD coming up to Chris Rock asking if he want to press charges, right? You see this. You see all this happening, but none of y'all know who killed Biggie Smalls. I don't understand this. Nobody, that case has been cold for 20 years, right? And exactly that right there, that what you're doing right there, that's what they're still trying to look around and be like, yeah, we have no idea.
But do do they have gangs within their ranks? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, I thought y'all supposed to stop gangs, not get them into your. Yeah. But see, I'm not in California. You know, I'm just saying.
Take the drugs, and
Hey, just go out there and sell them.
Yeah.
I mean, you learn from the Contras. Oh. Y'all did put Freeway Ricky. Y'all did put Freeway Ricky Ross in the jail. I mean, y'all probably interrogated him and like, what's the blueprint?
I tell you, but it's I don't know. I'm just hoping some good come out of this, man.
Knowing Will Smith, let's be clear. Knowing Will Smith, he's not the type that gonna let this linger on. I know. I agree with you. What you said earlier. Me being in a relationship, but you being married, it's like times 20.
Yeah.
Where I hate that saying, happy wife, happy life. I don't believe in that bullshit. So I'm gonna throw that out the way. But there are times where it's just like, and I hear it from my father all the time, just hearing it right now as a kid. Man, don't do nothing. I don't want to hear your mama's mouth.
Yeah.
And that's what that was.
Yeah. Because
I want to hear your damn mouth.
Right.
Look, I did this. I'm not even trying. It's not even like I'm not even trying to get on your good side. I'm not even trying to get ass. I just don't want to hear your damn mouth. And also, I don't want to hear anybody else talking about how much of a weak man I am. Which is understandable. Yep. It's understandable. I mean, I got drugged for 2 years. I don't want this shit to linger on. I don't want to be another meme, which she is now, unfortunately. I want to be another meme of, oh, you just gonna sit there while he talks to me like that? Like, for real?
Right.
I don't want to be another meme or be portrayed as me being weak when all I do is post positivity and how we should be together, that you should look at life in a whole new light. I mean, Will Smith content is very inspirational. I'm not even gonna lie. When I follow him on Instagram. Right. This man had put nothing but positive stuff up. So, I mean, I'm gonna keep bringing up The Rock because people just thinking that The Rock was the one that did all this first. No, Will Smith was the one that did all this mess first.
Yeah.
And he posts nothing but positive stuff. He always posts about, helping people out and everything, even going behind the scenes of movies. His last one, not this one, but the Bad Boys 2. Yeah. People who was following his stuff knew about Bad Boys 2 coming out before the big networks mentioned about it. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think that he's going to, I don't think he's going to let this linger too much. And knowing Chris Rock is not going to press no charges because I think at the end of the day, he probably going to think like, okay, this is the consequences of a joke.
I wouldn't. I would have.
Yeah.
When you're worth $400 million and you slap me in the face, a percentage of that is coming to me. That's what's about to happen.
And look, that's real. The thing is, I would agree with it either way.
And he got a divorce from his wife too. Fuck, dude. I'm getting some of that money.
Yeah. and the thing is, I will understand if you would have press charge for him. Chris Rock should not be. Nobody shouldn't call him a pussy or weak for pressing charges. But on the other hand, I see a conversation happening between them. It could be happening right now. It could have happened. Maybe Diddy was right. Diddy probably got him in the room. Tom Perry probably was up in there. Denzel was probably up in there. Probably another OG was up in there. And like, look, we're gonna talk about this.
Yeah.
And they probably got it all talked out. Probably got all squared away, ironed out. They probably eliminate Jerry. Like, oh, I'm gonna be a part of. Nope, this is men.
Right.
You go over there. You go over there with the ladies. You go over there. We got a tarp right here that's red. You can put it right on that table. That be your table talk. You can handle it over there. Y'all can talk about anything you want to, but this is man shit over here.
Yeah,
we gonna talk this out. And I know if I'm gonna say this, and y'all heard it here first. If you do not hear anything about Chris Rock pressing charges this whole week, I'm gonna give it till Friday. If you don't hear anything about it, that only tells you that they talk behind closed doors.
Yeah.
That's all it's telling you. That's all that it's telling you. If he does not press charges until Friday, like I said, I give it till Friday. If he does not press charges or any words come up about pressing charges, they already talked or they in the process of talking. Because I guarantee you, Will Smith probably gonna be sitting just like Chris Rock just grabbed his face like, yo, I can't believe that happens. But as a comedian, it's not everybody's going to be receptive to my joke. Right.
But
and then for Will Smith, he's thinking to himself, did I really do that for me? Or did that for her?
He did it for her. He did it for her.
I got one back. I even cut you off.
That he didn't, because the thing is, like you said, when he did the acceptance speech, he's talked about, the stress and all this other stuff. Listen, it's whatever. I am not saying that people's lives should be intruded on and everything like that, and be treated like an object or whatever else. But you know what the business is. You know what this is. You know what it is. And it's not like I could almost see, right? If Will Smith was like this young actor, right? And he's in Hollywood, only been in there for a couple of years. He worked all his way to get to this point. He got there within a couple of years, and then something like this happened. That makes sense. That makes sense because you're young, you're still trying to figure out the business and everything, and you need those OGs around you to go ahead and hook you up. No, you've been in the business over 20 years. And now it's stressed you out in such a way, it's only women can do stuff like this to you if you allow it. And that's what happened to him. His woman has stressed him out to such an extreme that when you go out in the street, I'm pretty sure you have people that greet you and everything. You know how you can look in people's eyes and you can see pity from them.
Yeah.
Because of what's happening to you, even though you're not acknowledging it. But this type of stuff is happening to you. You're getting drugged. You're getting drugged for 2 years over some bullshit. And the main thing is your wife is not really even apologizing about it. It was more in a sense of almost when that red table thing came about, blaming you.
Oh my God.
Blaming you for it.
You read my mind.
I'm blaming you because I'm not happy and I wasn't feeling this certain way and all this other stuff. But you blame the man for this. And to the point he said, I'm tired. I'm not trying to make you happy no more. Whatever, man. That's bullshit.
But Billsley, I'm gonna ask this question and then I'm gonna have to start wrapping up the show.
Oh, it's cool.
And then also anybody that's watching, I want y'all to press a 1 if you agree. Here it is. If the Red Table Talk show wasn't a thing, you think this would be happening right now? Press 1 if you think so. But Bills, what you think? Because I'm gonna give you my explanation.
That's a hard thing to say because it would have delayed it. I'll put it that way. And this is why I say it. They already knew it before that Red Table Talk thing came out, right? So they already knew about it. So they're working it out and all this other stuff. It would have delayed it, and maybe it would have simmered down some of the other stuff that they worked on it. The Red Table Talk ignited it. It's kind of like what they say about steroids. When you have a person that has a hidden thing in them, or genetically have a hidden thing in them, but if you're taking care of yourself, that shit dies off, or it's buried, or whatever else. But you start taking things that ignite it, unnatural stuff, and then your body is growing, you're doing all this stuff, and you look fabulous, but at the same time, that cancer or whatever pops up. Especially even after you've not doing the sport no more or whatever else. Mm-hmm. It ignited what was already messed up in that relationship. So yeah, it would have delayed it. You know what I mean? It probably wouldn't have happened in this award show. I think it probably would have happened like probably maybe a couple of years down the road, because it took them 2 years to get to this point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I could be wrong, but that's craziness.
Mm-hmm.
That's craziness. Yeah.
Me, I'm gonna give my honest take. Ever since that Red Table Talk show came about, I have feeling like this is going to be the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Because the subjects that they was talking about, to me, I believe that it wasn't no like follow-ups or follow-throughs. Now don't get me wrong about this show here. We don't follow a script. These are actually coming from our views and what we feel. That's why we say we control the narrative. But for the Red Table Talk, the topics that they be having, I wouldn't feel welcome. Certain people wouldn't feel welcome. I don't think you would feel welcome, Bills. I don't think I would feel welcome, because the stuff that they talk about, I'm like, I would get a lot of kickback. I would definitely get kickback from the mom. I would definitely get a lot of kickback from the freaking Jada. Willow, I think I probably would gel with a little bit. But the mom and Jada, we will be bumping heads on many of their views on certain things. And what was that one where they had one person come up on there? It was very controversial, and that rubbed me some type of way. I forgot what it was. If anybody can help me.
Controversial? Most of their shows are controversial, man.
Yeah, that's true. But I think it was one that took the cake. Oh, it was the Kim Kardashian. Well, it was actually Kylie Jenner and her friend, which her friend was friend with Jada, and she came on the show to explain her part, and I knew exactly why they did that. They said, let's capitalize on that, and that really made me feel some type of way. And I'm like, whoa, I'm like, hold up. I understand that, like if anything happens to you, Bills, and knock on wood, that I know is wrong, I want to give you a platform so you can explain your side. But for me, when they did it, they already had a vendetta against the Kardashians, and now you're dealing with one of our friends that we know too. Mm-hmm. We're going to put them on the platform, and look at where the Red Table Talk is now. It's now still the most highly popular show. And ever since then, it was always controversy. And it's also geared to women. No issues, no problems with that.
But I will say about that show, it is when it's good, it's very educational, and especially seeing different sides of women and everything like that. Mm-hmm. You have 3 different generations that are on that show, and you can learn so much from them when they're on track with it, even sexual stuff, even whatever. But at the same time, when you get into topics like these, especially you're putting your husband on blast. They put Snoop Dogg on blast on certain in a certain episode. They put all kinds of things out there. When you start using that platform to put people on blast, dude, that's when it becomes a dangerous tool against people that are trying to find and learn things. It's crazy, man. But
and that's when I started having the issue with the show. But when that show first came out, I did not get a warm and fuzzy from it. I was like, this show is going to be controversial, and I just don't know how. I get those type of feelings about things. Sometimes I ignore it and it comes back to haunt me. Yeah. And then there are times where I listen and I'm like, okay, but let's see how it's going to go. And 9 times out of 10, it goes the way that my intuitions come out. What's up, Will? Hey, you came late to the show, man. We about to get ready to head on out. So we're gonna so I'm gonna ask you this, Bills, and then we're gonna get to our final thoughts. So do you blame Will Smith or Chris Rock, or is equal blame?
I blame Will Smith. And this is why. Like I said, that joke had to be approved before it was put out there. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I blame Will Smith because it was a thing that you're doing this to get brownie points with your wife that you were or are having trouble with, whatever, and you did it in a way that not only embarrassed a whole nother father, who have kids, you embarrass a culture by doing that. And he blames Jada. Yeah, and I get that, because the thing is, she is an insecure woman. You know what I mean? It seems like it's more so now since she's aged or whatever else, but she's still a beautiful girl. It's just that you can't control men like that, or try, or what's the right way, because she can't control him. Will is allowing that to happen within his life. And the only reason why I'm saying this, because I can really speak from personal experience with that. When you allow people to get into your life like that and really shake you up in such a way, you're liable to do anything. And the prime example was what happened last night. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's a horrible look, especially at your age, especially as long as you've been in the business. It should be no excuse for that. Now, I could see if somebody put their hands on you in public like that, okay, you're defending yourself. I get that. But you went up to a whole nother man and slapped the piss out of him and thought that was a good idea. No, especially after on a beautiful night of showing that you constructed your skill in such a way that a panel said, dude, he is deserving of this award. That's so sad. Luckily his parents aren't alive, because they'd probably be very embarrassed at this point in time. And that it is what it is, though.
So for me, I think it's equal blame, but hearing the sides of everybody, I'm gonna lean with what Will said. I'm blaming it on Jada. Jada, I mean, comedians should be held to. Now, y'all know me. I keep the same energy on both ends. So what Chris Rock did, even though the joke was approved, he knew that he was walking on a landmine. Will Smith, you got drunk for 2 years, brother. You ain't said nothing. You ain't did nothing. You sit there. You took it like a man, but you took your anger out on the wrong person.
So it leads me to ask you a question, man. Mm-hmm. Would you rather the comedian throw a joke like Chris Rock did last night, or would you rather Kramer throw his shtick like he did at the Funny House, at the Funny Club, right? You see what I mean? Like, totally went off the cuff with what he said. It was racist. It was all this other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Would you rather one of the two happen?
For that scenario, I would rather have what Chris Rock said.
Exactly.
I would have that. But for this case right here, because you brought it up earlier in the show, the past animosity, remember the Oscars So White, and he brought up Jada and Will for protesting and made fun of it. Yeah. So you got to think about that too as well. So, but your question that you got, but with that question that you said, for instance, yeah, I would take Chris Rock for saying what he said. But
which leads to this being Will's fault still. If you had a problem with me saying a joke about you not being at the Oscars because nobody invited you, then be a man and say that to me. Don't be a bitch and hold this in for 2 years, add that on to the already stress that's within your life, and then come up to me and slap the shit out of me. You're fucking crazy.
And this is why it is Jada's fault. This is why it's Jada's fault. Because hearing this, because like I said, I think they both equally the blame, but the real person that did this was Jada. And I'm not just saying this because Will brought it up, because Billsy, you said it was Jada at first. Yeah. But we were, and the funny thing is, we was talking in circles when we was already circling the problem. And that was Jada.
This bitch.
So the blame is Jada, because it seemed like as we were talking, we were making great points. We were all making great points, but it seemed like Jada was creeping out of the freaking problem, knowing that she was the problem. You know, and we try to figure out like, okay, I know I was equally the blame. You know, I take responsibility. You take responsibility. But how the hell did we get here in the first place? You, where's she at? She's already gone up in her car. Already drove off. So.
G.I. Jane looking motherfucking dead.
Right, already going through the sunset. We already blamed her, but she already out town, like that old saying that Roddy Piper did in the movie They, where he says, what he said. What he said.
Is it the question, Joe?
No, when he came into the bank, he said, "I'm here to."
He was like, "I'm here to kick ass,
yes,
and pass out bubble gum." And I'm all out of bubble gum.
I was like, dude, that's what's Jada.
I was like, damn.
Or as my boy, also Bruce Campbell, the #1 legend in B movies. He said, "You leave out of town with two things: Jack and shit." Jack left town.
Oh my god,
that's Jada. So
wow.
I'm blaming all of this on Jada, and nobody's not going to tell me why. Will Smith had equal part, Chris Rock had equal part, but I'm going to where it all started from. If she hadn't said that entanglement on the show, none of this would have happened. And right. I do agree with you, Billsley, even though I do think the show was the start to all of this, because this was eventually going to lead to it.
Yeah.
They would have kept that if the show didn't happen. They probably would have been just going willy-nilly like nothing ain't happened. You know, right. Everything's great, everything's fine. We probably would have found out when they hit their 70s, but it'd already be too late.
Right.
But she set this in motion. You have nobody, maybe the Manosphere is all blaming it on Jada. Because I guarantee you go into the Manosphere right now, you go into that community, they are already throwing darts. Up. Yeah,
those cats are fired up.
They are already throwing darts at Jada Pinkett already.
But I'm gonna say this. It reminds me of a saying that I say all the time about women, and you probably get some flack for this, but it's true. Women literally are like thermostats in a house. They could change the temperature of a house very quickly by their attitude. If it's nice and pleasant, you're going to have a nice and pleasant house. If it's bitchy and really irritating, that house is going to be hot or too cold up in that joint, and everybody's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that's how that works.
Yeah, and that's true. And we already knew the temperature in that freaking that arena in the Oscars. Well, that arena was that was tense.
It was way uncomfortable, right?
So the blame should go to Jada. Jada should have her feet held to the fire. Her feet should be held to the fire because she was the one poking the bear, which was freaking Will Smith. Unfortunately, Chris Rock was a dumbass. Hey, throw me the stick. Throw it to me. Yeah. Throw it.
Yeah.
Here you go. So I'm all about, people are so concerned with what's happening now, but don't want to look at what led to this point. Because the freaking one thing I give credit to investigators, detectives, when they investigate crimes, they can care less. Yes, we got a dead body. We got the evidence right here.
Yeah.
What led to it? Yes, we know that he did it or she did it, but what led you to do it?
Right.
Were you hired? Right. Did y'all have an argument? Was it a trust fund or money that they had? What led you to do this? Yes, we know you killed him, but we have to have a case so we can present to the judge on why we should prosecute you, because the judge ain't gonna believe that you just killed this person just to kill this person. We got to know, right? We need to know why you killed this person. But to continue on, the blame should be on Jada. She should get as much criticism as much as Will Smith as well as Chris Rock, because she's the only one that's getting out here scot-free, clean. Everybody's feeling sorry for her condition, which, you know, I feel sorry for her condition. You know, I don't want to wish it on anybody, but still, that should not be an excuse for what she put Will Smith through, making this man look less of a man, making him look like a complete fool, which led to this point where Chris Rock made a joke and bad taste to what she saw, and Will saw the reaction, fed off that, and thought that he was standing up for his woman.
But see, this is what happens in this society. First of all, they're going to give her a pass because, these are men. And at the same time, our society are making men, or not making, they've made men disposable. You know what I mean? From dating apps to how cats live, to throwing out this dad bod thing and everything. They're really trying to turn men into women to an extent, and it's like it's so sad and disgusting at this point in time with this stuff happening, man. I don't know. I just hope for the best with this bullshit, man.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna keep saying this. If you don't hear anything about a lawsuit or pressing charges till Friday, that means that they talked it out, and that's all the good positive thing that I want to hear, Bills want to hear, and everybody else.
No, I don't want to hear that, because I'm telling you,
Bills want the first charges.
like you're staying on Jada for being the culprit of this. I'm staying on that $400 million. Black men have, exactly.
And so, which that seems like that's going to be another topic for another Monday, for next Monday. Would you mind coming on the show, Billingsley? I don't care if you come in. Cool.
Yeah.
I think that should be a topic. That should be a topic for a show, and hopefully Beast have everything straight and done on his end. But quick final thought, as we call, let me see. I forgot what we used to call it, because when we don't do a final thought, I think I call it the final points.
Right.
So what's your 5 points before we head on out?
Are you really giving this to me right now?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel honored, for real, man.
It's all to have you on the show.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that. My final thought on this is, naturally, we live through celebrities. I think this country, because there are no royalty, like in other countries, we look to celebrities as royalty. So first of all, let's not forget that there's still a war going on in in the other place, and this could be a distraction. But beyond all of that, what we've learned today is that what we've already known: men are disposable in this society, and women get passes regardless if it's their fault or not. You know what I mean? And it would still, my hope is, at the end of the day, nobody gets hurt, nobody gets killed, whatever else in this process. And hopefully Will Smith gets some help, because if you've been harboring this for almost 2 years and talk to nobody, and you're worth millions of dollars, I'm pretty sure a therapist, side chick, whatever recreation you need could excuse you, let this shit go away in your head, and show Jada that she is not the end all be all to everything. I feel bad for the kids. I feel he didn't. You're right. He didn't slap August, and that's a whole nother point. I'm glad you said that. That's a whole nother point on us as human beings. We need to go ahead and deal with those things at the root at all times, so it don't fester into what it had turned into. You know what I mean? All of this craziness that he's harbored in, which I do understand, but he harbored it in for the wrong reasons, and now it turned into this. So let's hope cooler heads prevail at the end of the day, man.
You ain't lying about that. The open relationship shit came back to haunt his ass. Will has no chill. All right, so
open to everything but jokes.
So my 5 points is this. I always say on this show, and I'm still gonna say it: there's always a time and place for everything. Mm-hmm. And for this situation here, just hearing the different views and all that stuff, I think because at first I was like, no, he need to handle his business, but then knowing what he went through and didn't say anything until now makes a whole and a hell a lot of sense now. And so I'm gonna say this. I think was that time where Will Smith, rather than going up on the stage and smacking him, it should have been more like, dude, that's not cool. You know where I'm going. You know, let's talk about this. I think it should have been handled in a different way, but we can't go back and change time. And he no, and I'm free next Monday too. Got you, Will. Got you. All right, I'll work you in. So yeah, so it should have been a different way that it should have been handled. But also, just thinking about it, DL Hughley made his comment. He's like, "Man, I thought me and Kanye had a beef, but shit."
Yo,
when he said that, it summed it up for me, because what him and Kanye is going through, you would expect that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What they're doing on stage, but unfortunately it's not music awards or movie. Well, it's movie awards, but it's not music awards. And also at the music awards, why would DL be there unless number one, he was invited, or number two, he's the host.
Right.
And so for him to chime in like that, I said that sums it up for me. And so I'm still sticking to it. It's Jada's fault, but beyond all that, I think this is one of those times where men, I'm always about the bro code. I'm always about when, let's say, we being great friends as we are, Billsley, and you have an issue with me and I sense it, I'm going to pull you to the side. And I'm going to be like, dude, I'm feeling this little bit, this animosity that is going on. You know, look, if there's something wrong, the idea, I want you to tell me. I'm not going to say shit. And see, that's how men's supposed to handle it. If you know there's a tension between y'all two, you're not supposed to say shit. And I'm talking about the one that's actually, feeling the tension, the one that's causing the tension that you have with me. They should sit their happy ass down. Well, not happy, but sitting their ass down and be like, hey, man, what I done wrong? I'm here. I ain't going to say nothing until you're done.
Right.
Tell me what's wrong.
Right.
And you sit there, you be like, oh, okay. All right, cool. And then you say your piece. And your piece should be like, man, I'm sorry if you feel that way. You could have a reason or you don't. And if you don't have a reason, you be like, you know what? I'm going to fix it, dog. I'm going to fix it, It could be anything, to a relationship that you have, or a business deal going wrong, or knowing that you're going back on bad habits. It could be anything. But as long as it gets talked about and dealt with, nipped in the butt, don't have to worry about it. Now, I'm not going to say that your relationship is going to start fresh new. It may have, but as long as that issue is done, then you good.
Yeah.
But for this case here, it should have been handled behind closed doors. Even though I could care less, I think anything can happen. I don't care if it's white faces, our faces, Hispanic faces. I don't care.
Yeah.
When something that needs to be handled, it needs to be handled. But for in this case right here, with all the history, no, I think this one should have been more of, let's talk about it behind closed door. And also, before I end on this point, I want to say this. The Oscars did put out a statement, and it was all over the news.
I see
that incident is under investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And if that investigation goes through, he could lose that Oscar. And I think that'd be the first time in the history of the Oscars that incident has gone under review, number one. And if that review is, if they deem that Chris Rock was done wrong, could lose his award. First time ever in history. So
you're doing a lot of firsts, Will.
Yeah, it's a lot of firsts. It's not in a good way. The next person that calls me skinny or nappy hair is going to get slapped. so yeah, that's my final point. My final point that should have been handled differently, and then also that one saying that's been going around as of late: you got to read the room. And I appreciate Denzel Washington. I'm not surprised Denzel Washington would do something like that, pull him to the side. But one thing I am going to critique Denzel Washington on. One thing I am going to critique him and Tyler Perry. I'm going to critique them on one thing. They should have got Chris Rock.
Wow.
They should have got Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Rather than, because now I know that video, people want to praise him for doing that, but but he should have had both of them.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I know OGs back in the day, and I seen it done. Billsley, you seen it done. You know how they do it over there at DC. You know how they do it over there at the DMV. They could be like, hey, you two, get your ass over here. We gonna talk this out. Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna talk to one, even if that person was not at fault. No, you come over here too, and you talk it out. So they talked to Will Smith, but that should have been Chris Rock right there too. Like, yo, what the fuck what's wrong with y'all? Yeah, I wouldn't even give a damn if they were sitting there, because they were sitting there saying like, oh, you got 50 seconds till the commercial break. I don't give a fuck. We get this shit straight. And even when the freaking y'all come back on there, we going behind the curtains and we gonna get this shit straight. Yeah, we gonna talk this shit out. Because you're not going to let our people look bad. Yeah. Bad enough last year, and you brought up a good point. Bad enough last year, none of us was nominated. None of us won anything. And look where we at now. Here we are. We are here, and we won the bulk of the awards tonight. Mm-hmm. And then it also, Will Packard, he won an award that night, and nobody's not going to remember it. And it was funny. The award that he wanted there was when freaking Will Smith smacked Chris
This could
Rock.
Be like, yeah, I got this award doing the smack her around the world. It's crazy, man.
Look at it, and then we got I'm standing with Chris on this one. I make the belly. I'm sorry, dog. I'm gonna give both the blame, but we gotta give the blame where it deserves to be at. Yeah, Chris Rock was unfortunately made the wrong joke at the wrong place at the wrong time that ignited Will Smith to do that because of somebody of the entanglement of him getting dragged for 2 damn years.
You keep bringing this. You are on this. Your consistency on her, man.
I'm telling you, 2 years. Yeah, I'm not. You can ride with Chris, but I'm sorry. You know, if you make that wrong turn with that nice Lexus, you can't take that shit back.
Right.
You can't take it back. When you in that nice, you buy that Benz for the first time ever, and you sit there and drive, woo, boom, you hit a freaking a rocket that hit the right way and blow your damn tire. You can't take that shit back. You could have done everything right. Blew that tire. Now you got all this damage. Yeah, can't take it back. You did everything right. You paid that car up front. You would drive the speed limit and get this shit out. And you sit there crying like, fuck! I tell you. So I understand people that were rock with no pun intended, rock with Chris Rock, and I will understand people that rock with Will Smith. But you gotta look at the real culprit of why all this happened. So 2 years in the making. But other than that, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. And I think we got a show on Monday coming up, man. I cannot wait. And also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tune into my boy Billsley show. Go ahead, tell everybody about your show, Billsley, before we head on out.
I mean, it'll be sporadic. It's, under the same name, Isaac Billsley, but it'll be known as the Super Soul Warrior D1. I talk about different topics on a regular basis. I don't know. I'm not as uniformed and well put together as the gentleman that's on my other side over here. I mean, his is far more professional. He even got a sponsor and shit, man. So, but I just talk about random stuff when I feel like it, but at some point I'll get it as cool as possible and be able to do stuff like this, hopefully. So,
don't worry, Bills. I hope y'all just like I said, just give me a shout out when you want to work it out. I got you. And then also you also got a group too as well.
A group? What are you talking about?
Do you have a group? You got a Facebook group? Oh,
it's under the same name.
Oh, the same name.
So Warrior D1. And then, I mean, all it does, and on that one, all I talk about is working out and wrestling. It's just stuff that I like all the time, man. What is the Japanese? It's a Korean flag, Will.
Yeah. Oh yeah, by the way, Will is also, he's a veteran too in the from the Air Force. So veterans representing him.
I'm gonna tell him the only reason why I have that up there, because I was stationed there at one point, but I got it. But I really dig their hustle. That is some of the most money making people that I've ever seen in my life, and the inspiration is to have the drive of Koreans.
They hustle. Hey, look, they got Chinatown over here, but they hustle just as hard over here too.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you gotta have the hustle mentality. But yeah, Billsy. If you need help or any advice on with this here, I got you, man. Just let me know. But ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to also follow him on Facebook too as well. Billsy, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. Unfortunately for our boy Beast, he was going through his issues and problems, but I promise he will be here on Monday. I think he's gonna like this topic too. So but as for if Beast was here, for Beast Johnson, and for my special guest here, Billingsley, as well as me, your great host, Martin Morris. Thank y'all for tuning in. And also, we'd like to thank Real Chub Boy Popcorn.com for sponsoring the show. I wish Mr. Jones was on here, but I guarantee he was busy. But he's going to be on the show. I know for a fact he's going to be on the show next Monday. But other than that, thank y'all for watching. And remember, we control the narrative. Once again, Billsy, thank you for tuning into the show. Thank y'all so very much. Y'all have a good one, because this was an interesting one, and there's no entanglement in that. I say entanglement and no entanglement in that. Find that. Catch y'all later. But before we go, we have to have our queen sister. Y'all know who we're talking about. Teach, deliver us with her spirits. And with that, we catch y'all later. Goodbye.
Be cool.
Greetings. I am Professor Anita M. Jope, the Executive Director of the African Roots and Heritage Foundation, and I am here in spirit with you with the Southern region in the celebration of African Languages Week. We have a very good program designed for you, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. And remember this one thing: if you are an African American or an African that was born in the diaspora, that was taken from their homeland, remember this one thing. During African Languages Week, we want you to reach out and learn an African language. And if you are an African born on African soil, we want you to speak your native language, because when you speak your native language, we get to hear the voices of our ancestors. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making African Languages Week a total success. Kwaheri ya kukaona. Goodbye until we meet again.
Yeah, I'm pippin', flippin', spittin' these lyrics. Got you feeling what I be saying, like you caught the Holy Spirit now. I done went through some shit up in my past, but it fertilized my future. Now I'm harvesting my cash. I like 'em pretty, but they can't be hot, so did it. Talking like I'm gon' buy what you want, you think it's silly, girl.